All right, all right, all right. Welcome, 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 good people, to the post-game reaction, knee-jerk reaction show, whatever you want to call it. I decided, guys, that I kind of went away from calling it something. I'm just gonna, when I do these shows, I'm just gonna basically put up a title and I'm gonna run with that. All right. The only themed titled show that I will be doing is Tuesdays, obviously, for Terrible Towel Tuesday, and let me shamelessly, right there, let me market that. But guys, let's get into it, man. And again, for some of you that may or may not have been here last week, I do this show very, very different now. It is a very quick show. Literally, it's quick. It's 15 minutes or less. I don't do that a long, drawn out, cover this, cover that. I just give my quick thoughts from what I saw before I rewatch the game, and then I'll come back on Tuesday and have a little more to say. So let's get right to it. First and foremost, guys, what's up, Sade? Oh, man. Hold on, guys. I got to pause and say hello to Sade, one of our lovely, lovely, lovely ladies of Still the Nation, man. I haven't seen Sade in a while. Good to see you, as well as the lovely Lanisha's in the building, and the rest of you all are often here. Shout outs to you guys as well. But let's get to it. Listen, full disclaimer, there was pieces of the game that I did not see. Some of you guys already know that. I had something to do at 12:30ish, from 12:30 to 2. My son, in my local area here, they had some open gym runs from USA Basketball. Took him to that and did pretty well there, actually. Had fun doing that. But I watched the game on my phone from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, right? And from that point on, I had to get home. It took me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes or whatever. And then I did get home in time enough to see the remainder of the game, the full second half. So there's some things that I don't know that happened, some things I missed while I was driving or what have you. But here it is, guys, in a nutshell. The Steelers have some really big problems, and I'm going to explain to you what they are. Once again, the Steelers unable to stop the run game when they need to. What I thought was odd, guys, is, again, I told you, I was able to watch the game from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Then I had a brief break where I had to drive home, and then I saw the entire second half. So I didn't see, well, actually, let me take that back. The NFL app was showing our game, so I watched basically the first quarter and a half, and then they took the game off. So even though I'm sitting there watching it on the phone, I couldn't watch it. I was just looking at possessions. So what's interesting is, for a long time, it was 7-6. It was 7-6 for a long time. Hold on, guys. Round of applause to the good brother C.T. Pittman for the Wonder Bread. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. He says, we got a really talented defense on paper. And I couldn't agree with you more there. Let me pull up my couple, 1, 2, 3. I had a few, very few notes that I wanted to talk about. But yes, our defense seems to be talented on paper. I am going to give a shout out to a guy or two before I get out of here, but it's just that simple, guys. And what I'm seeing, and again, when I go back and watch the game in full, where I can really digest it, I'm hoping it doesn't further what I'm going to say here today, but I'm seeing something early that I think might be a serious problem, a big problem. But let's get back to it. So there was a period of time, man, it was 7-6 for a long time. And then the Steelers were able to put a decent drive together. Again, at this time, I'm listening to it as I'm on my way home. And, we get down the field. I think we had gotten another turnover, if I'm not mistaken. And shout outs to the defense for producing some turnovers, 2 interceptions. And we're able to get to the end zone. We find DK Metcalf, and that's why I have him in the thumbnail. Shout outs to DK, first touchdown as a Steeler, first pass from Aaron Rodgers. And me putting that in the thumbnail is me kind of hoping that we're going to see more of that. And the Steelers go up 14-7. But then what happens right after that? And I'll say it right after this donation. Thank you, man. Appreciate the Wonder Bread from the good brother Stillberg. Thank you so much. He says, can we get someone opposite DK who can get open? Fair question. Not going to jump to that conclusion until I watch this game again. And when I say again, all 22, right? Because, listen, we weren't saying that last week about Calvin Austin. Some people in this chat, in this very chat, was saying last week, hey, Calvin Austin might be a certified number 2 for us. So until I watch the film, I won't jump to that conclusion, Stillberg, but I completely understand your sentiment. So I understand where you're coming from. All right, so like I said, man, we go down there, we score touchdowns, 14-7. I get home, I watch the game in the second half, and what happens? What happens? The Steelers are unable to do anything on the opening drive out of the halftime. Now, ideally, you want to go down and get some points, especially where you had them at that point. I think even Mark Sanchez even said, hey, if the Steelers go down here and get a touchdown or a field goal, it make it interesting for the Seahawks, right? Based off of how we had played. So evidently, our defense had stepped it up in that second quarter, right? And we were keeping that 7-6 balancing act for a while. And even Sanchez said, hey, man, the Steelers can go down and get them a score here or a field goal. They make it tough for the Seahawks. But we don't do that. Okay, fine. It happens, right? Sometimes you don't come out and get points. Fine. But what you cannot do is allow the Seahawks on their opening drive of the second half, come right down and score. And they tie it up just like that. That is what you cannot have happen. And that happened. Then, Steelers are unable to do anything else again on offense. They give the ball back to the Seahawks. The Seahawks are able to get a field goal. Okay, now it's a 17-14 game. And then the floodgates just open from there as far as terrible things. And my very first office visit, guys, of the 2025 season. Caleb Johnson, bring yourself in this office, please, sir. Come on. We have to talk. Mr. Caleb Johnson, it pains me to be doing this to you so early in the season, so early in your career. I have been talking left and right, up and down about how I want you to get more opportunity. Offensively, I've been wondering why you're not getting as many opportunities offensively, why it is more Gainwell versus you as the second back, right? We had been told that you were struggling with pass protection. Okay, maybe that's one reason why we utilize a more savvy veteran and a more utility guy like Kenneth Gainwell on third down. I'm not mad at that. But once again, offensively, Caleb Johnson, you didn't get much in this game either. Let me say something else before I get to the elephant in the room. I have been saying that you don't really look that great returning kicks, even though you kind of did that in college. But in the NFL, even in preseason, you're kind of hesitant when you return. Like, it just looks like you're not running your full speed or you're not sure where to go. So I already have been scratching my head like, okay, I don't know if we want him back there. Let's let him, take more snaps offensively. But then today, sir, I understand that this is your first year in the NFL. But how do you, first and foremost, the ball bounces and you don't secure the catch. Okay. But then you literally turn your back and act as if you don't know the rules. And you allow the Seahawks to, come on, man. You allow the Seahawks to cover the ball, or recover the ball rather, in the end zone for a score. That just can't happen. That is unacceptable. I mean, that is unacceptable. And let me say this. It ain't gonna get you out of the doghouse, brother. This is hurtful because I have high hopes for you. But I don't know. Your NFL career is not starting off well. Like I said, not getting reps and then making bonehead plays in week 2, bruh. You're dismissed, sir. Another quick office visit. Calvin Austin, come here real quick. Come here. Mr. Calvin Austin, listen, surprised that I have to bring you into the office because you're not normally a candidate. But I got to get on you for that route that you ran in the end zone and inadvertently caused you literally caused a turnover, right? Because you kind of tried to turn back and hit it and it popped up into the kid's hand and we turned over the ball in the end zone. And I got to get on you because Aaron Rodgers was on you immediately. And even you looked like it. When they showed your face, you knew that you didn't run the route properly and you tried to make a play. And it looks like that ball actually may have been going to Freiermuth. And it's intercepted after the beautiful effort play by Jaylen Warren. That's how we end that drive. Come on, Calvin Austin. You got to do better than that. So let's get back to it, guys. Where we at? We had about 11 minutes. All right, let me hurry this up. Listen. 2 key points in the game, man, that killed us. Yeah, and I just talked about it, but I'll just say it again. The interception in the red zone after the huge play by Jaylen Warren. Shout outs to Jaylen Warren. Round of applause to Jaylen Warren just for the effort. Now, what was interesting after that play, the defense finally forced the 3 and out. They forced the 3 and out, and that was a huge swing because I thought that the Seahawks would potentially go down the field and get something off that, and they didn't. So the defense stood tall after that, but again, it didn't matter. We didn't do anything with it. I do want to ask you guys in the chat, I already saw somebody comment on it. That 4th and 1, late in the third quarter, do you guys agree with the decision to punt? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys what I think first before I even see you guys' comments. Would I like to have seen us go for it? Sure. But I don't know if I'm upset about that because our offense, it's not like we were clicking. Yeah, we were picking up some short yardage, 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 1s here and there, but I don't know. I don't know if I have a problem with that. I don't know if I have a problem with that. Our defense was started to play relatively well the last couple series, and it basically did what we needed it to do. It did back them up. So it ended up being what we needed it to be. But I already saw somebody here say it was, I'm paraphrasing, that was a punk move by punting. No, I don't think so. Usually I get on Mike Tomlin when we decide to go for it or not, but I don't think I disagree with punting there. Because again, guys, we didn't really have any evidence that our offense was going to convert it. We just didn't. So I could see why some people would say, you should go for it. But at that moment and where the score was at that point, nah, I'm not mad at him doing that. I think that the right decision was to punt it. Let me see what you guys say really quick. No, that would have been stupid going for it on 4th and 1. Okay. The punt is good. Okay. Leonard Green says, no, no, no. Like the reggae song. No, no, no. Hilarious. What else y'all got? Anybody else on the decision? No, not at all. You got to take risks. That builds confidence. Okay. Okay. The defense was already leaking at that point, brother. Okay. So some of y'all feel like we should have went for it. You go for it. The defense wasn't stopping a snail. Okay. All right. It's not like the defense was doing much. Go for it. Okay. So, it's a little bit of a mixed bag here, but I don't think that was a bad decision right there, guys. I really don't. Because again, if you go back and look at the sequence, it didn't hurt anything. I think punting it there did not cost us anything. And I don't disagree with Tomlin doing it in that instance. So just my thoughts. But again, guys, let me just get back to the big issues. Here are the big issues that the Steelers have, guys, and it's evident. We can't run the football. Let me show you. Now, mind you, this was a very close game for a long time, so I don't even want to hear game circumstance dictated what we did. No. Let me get back to the stats. I'm gonna explain it to you right here. Hold on. I was just there. Hold on. Give me a second. What happened to this? The NFL.com website is so trash, man. Okay, here we go. Pittsburgh Steelers, Jaylen Warren, 14 attempts for 48 yards, 3.4 average. Kenneth Gainwell, 5 attempts for 20 yards, 4-yard average. Not too bad. But the Steelers ran the ball for 72 yards on the day. Aaron Rodgers had 3 of those. Caleb Johnson had 1 of those. 72 yards, guys. 21 attempts and 72 yards. Not a great running effort. Anytime you are under 4 yards a carry, you're not running it at a decent clip. That is a problem. We cannot run the football. And what ends up happening in that instance is Aaron Rodgers has to pass the ball 33 times. Now, some of you guys might say, oh, well, that's not too bad. It might not be too bad, but let me give y'all the news flash. Aaron Rodgers is not capable anymore of beating teams passing the ball like that. He's not. We saw it. It became so abundantly clear. Remember that little one late, what was it, the fourth quarter? He tried to scramble. It was like a 3rd and 4, whatever it was. And he took off and ran for it and thought he was going to cut back inside of, what's my man's name? Leonard Williams, I think his name is. And he gets folded up like a chair. He's just not mobile no more, right? That is a problem. The reason why it's a problem because it's going to make him, now granted, he can make little nifty moves in the pocket, spin outs and stuff like that, sure. He has movement in the pocket, but he has no mobility outside of it, which means he's more like a sitting duck behind that offensive line that, again, is not given much time. So if we have an offensive line so far that's not blocking the best, and we have a quarterback that can't escape and run, and we cannot run the football, that is a serious problem. Serious problem. And on the other side, we are not stopping the run. We're not stopping the run. Once again, 100-yard rusher. Kenneth Walker, 13 carries, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown. And I debated in my fantasy. He's one of my backs. I debated whether I was going to start him or not. And this is the reason why sometimes I hate fantasy football, because I did not want him to have a good day against my Steelers. Who cares about fantasy? But I knew that he probably would eventually have a good day because of how we looked against the run last week. So I made the right choice. But the Seahawks were 29 attempts, 117 yards, and 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker, 8.1 average. They started the game running fairly decent on the first drive. We kind of bottled it up in the midpoint of the game, and then when they needed to do it, they did it again. Once again, it's the explosive run game that we cannot stop. 10 or more yards. That's a problem, folks. I don't even have to say much more than that. Steelers defense are not getting it done. Peyton Wilson, once again, was irrelevant. Patrick Queen was making more plays. Shout outs to Jalen Ramsey, man. Jalen Ramsey got an interception in the game. That was nice. You know, I know some people are going to kind of talk about what he did or didn't do against Njigba on that last play action, and great, excellent call by the Seahawks on that deep play action in the fourth. But Ramsey was right there. I mean, sometimes, you know, the offense makes better plays, but I think it was good to see Jalen Ramsey get an interception. I don't know how the Herbig interception happened because, again, at that point, I was in travel. I wasn't able to watch the game. And I don't know what happened with some of the players. Like, you guys can tell me. I think it must have been Highsmith must have gotten hurt. Highsmith must have went down because I saw Jack Sawyer out there a lot. And I kept hearing the broadcast say we were dealing with injuries. But, yeah, man, round of applause to Isaiah Threets. Appreciate the Wonder Bread. Oh, man. He says, what do you think about the issue with the O-line? That's not what I'm laughing at, Isaiah. I'm laughing at some of these other comments in here. Some of you guys are just wasting your breath, man, wishing Tomlin to be fired. I mean, we've been through this, guys, and good luck with that. But I think the O-line is a problem, man. Again, y'all know me. I stick firm to 6 games is when I give my full description of what I think the Pittsburgh Steelers team is for that year. I will say, though, I'm seeing a pattern in 2 games that the writing is clearly on the wall. If it's going to change, if they're going to, it better be a dry erase board, right? The writing better be a dry eraser board and not a wall. Let's say that. There's still time for the writing to be on a dry erase board and not on the wall. Because if the writing is on the wall this early, it's ugly. So I'm still going to wait. But I'm just saying, I hope this writing that I see on what looks to be a wall is a dry erase board and it's not a wall. Because I just see a pattern that is not going to be good. It is imperative. The Steelers have to run the ball. They have to stop the run. That is the reason why Sam Darnold was able to do what he did, because the threat of the run, once the run got going, the play action, it just gutted us. We cannot afford that. It's just plain and simple. Some people can say that's cliche, but we can't. You see it on tape. That's what killed us. But it is what it is, guys. They're 1-1, and that's all I got for you. It's still early in the season. I know some of you guys have already pushed your panic button. We'll just see what happens. That's all I'm going to say. Christopher West, appreciate the round of applause, brother. I mean, the Wonder Bread. Round of applause for that. He says, are the trench issues talent or scheme? That's a tough one, because I can't, and I'm being open and honest, and where some people won't, right? Some people act like they know every daggone thing. I can't say offensively, right? I don't know offensive line schemes, right? I don't know if, let's say, if the offensive line is schemed a different way, it would make a difference. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how much the scheme changes for an offensive line. From a defensive standpoint, you could say it's the scheme, but I see other teams run the same scheme, right? So to me, I feel like it's more let's say it like this. Instead of saying talent, because I think there's talented guys perhaps, but these guys are not performing at their talent level. Let's say that. That's what it appears to be to me, especially after watching the film from the Jets game. Like, ooh. It's just guys just getting out-muscled. Guys are not defeating blocks. Guys are not playing their gaps. That's what it is, right? So, honestly, I can't 100% say it's the scheme and it's the talent, because, like I said, other NFL teams run the same thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, man. But again, week 2, I'm not going to go crazy. I'll let you guys do that, because some of y'all are already doing it in the comments, and I love reading the comments. Y'all go from cut this player to fire this coach and fire. I love it. It's week to week. That's why I said I'm not really going to jump into those conversations anymore. But I appreciate them 100% from you guys. But other than that, like I said, man, the post-game show is intended to be short. We're right at 25 minutes, so I'm going to cut it right there. Guys, please stay tuned. Come back on Tuesday, and that's when we have more of a longer discussion. We have gotten it back to where phone calls somewhat can be accepted. It is through Discord. It's through Discord, and I'll be giving that link out on the show. So if you want to get your voice heard, come back on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday at 8 p.m. 9 p.m. It'll be 9 p.m. for a little bit. until I'm done with Little League football with my son. But yeah, let's get out of here, guys. Listen, they lost. Hey, we're 1-1. It's not the end of the world. We got another opportunity next week to right the ship, if you will, and we shall see. But outside of that, y'all know the routine, man. If you like the video, can you please express it by hitting the like button? That's all I ask. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new and turn on your notifications. Outside of that, y'all know I'm going to tell you this. Y'all be safe out there. Stay healthy. God bless. Good night. Like always, I thank each and every one of you all for tuning in. And I'm going to go take a look at some Chiefs, Eagles. You know, I'm a football guy. What you going to do? Our game is over. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.